Okay. Okay. Very good evening to everyone. It's getting very excited now. I am sure all the brand partners have already received the email that they will be in the third quarter, most roughly between July, August, or maybe even September. There will be a new enhancement, performance-driven compensation plan is going to roll out. They're going to add in more bonus for the new people, which is actually a very good sign. So that means people who are just getting started in the business, you are going to expect to earn a little bit more income bonus. This is to drive sustainability and retention, all right, which is very good for people who are interested in building the business. Okay, so now today we are going into the second round of the podcast. So we are back to the first topics, first session, which is how to develop a winning mindset. Now, question number one is, what is a winning mindset? By the way, if it is possible, I would love you guys to on your camera. Maybe not now. Maybe at the end of the session, you can ask question at the end because I want it to be more like a dialogue session rather than just me talking. All right. You can ask any question regarding the business. So, first question: what is a winning mindset? A winning mindset doesn't mean that you are going to participate in a competition or or something that you must win. You must push yourself to win. It is a winning mindset is actually a state of mind, a state of belief, self-confidence, and persistence that will drive you to achieve your goals and overcome your challenges. So it is about perseverance. Okay. So that is the toughness you have to build. That is called the winning mindset. All right. Now, whoever you are today, you may be just maybe in your early 30s, just getting started, getting married, starting your own family, full of hope, full of dreams. There are so many things you want to achieve. Or maybe you are in your late 50s, moving into the 60s, or even at 60, moving into 70s, and you still you still look at life with full of excitement, but also a lot of worries and frustration, because many of us do not have much savings, and even our retirement fund, our EPF, is not going to be enough for us to live our retirement comfortably. The question is, we do not know how long we can live. If, let's say, for example, be a bit more positive. If, let's say, you can live up to age 100. For me, I'm 66. I still have got 34 more years to go. No? If these 34 more years, if I do not have the money, do not have the funds for me to live for the next 34 years, it's going to be very painful. So actually, at the age of 60s, even 70s, we can still be productive. And over the years, I realized that, if you are young, maybe you do not actually realize it yet. As the years when you go on, working, or, it could be, you are starting your own business, eventually you'll find that the more you earn, you are actually making more, as the years goes by. But you are going to chuck up with more bills and more debts to pay. Why is it so? Because you are going to buy, maybe a house, a car, maybe a second car. Then maybe you're going to have kids, then your expenses will go up. The reason why is because that the more we make, the more liabilities we're going to have. And of course, uh, putting into inflation, cost of living, so on and so forth. So the question is, should we make more money? I mean, one way is, of course, to increase your income. Another way is to spend less. Say, for example, you are earning maybe 10,000 a month now, you are quite comfortable, with just maybe an apartment and a car, and you are single, say for example. So once you start a family, maybe you want to buy a bigger car and a bigger house. So, your commitment will go up. As your commitment start going up, 10,000 is no longer enough. So maybe you need 15,000 or maybe even 20,000. So you work harder, that's life. You begin to work harder. Or maybe you're going to get a part-time job, a side hustle that give you extra income. And that is where you keep going and going and going, You know, the American call this the rat race. Everybody is chasing the rat race, right? Now, so one question, even with a winning mindset, sometimes because of all these factors that come into your life, you just have to keep on going, but there's no end to it actually. So you ask yourself, what is your real intention? Do you want to go on like that, chasing for a bigger paycheck and then buy more stuff, commit more, and then in the end you got no money left? So whether you want to break this chain or not is entirely up to you. It is your intention. So everything we do, it comes from us first. What is our intention? What is your intention? There are people who go for a higher education, get a degree, get a master and then get a PhD, because the higher you go academically, probably it can land you to a higher position job. Maybe in the C level, maybe one day you become a CEO of a company. I have got friends who are in the C level, COO, CEO, and they're making a lot of money, I remember I got an ex-colleague who is in the international American insurance company. He told me his last paycheck is 80,000 ringgit. So probably, these people are, of course, you have to be capable, being paying so high. And of course, he saved a lot of money, you see. So it's entirely up to you. Whether you want to climb the corporate ladder or you want to start something on your own, or you want to look for something better. So success comes from being intentional. You need to be intentional. Everything you do have to lead you to the right direction. So if you are talking about an entrepreneurship, you have to think like an entrepreneur. There are different mindset. Employee mindset, boss mindset, entrepreneur mindset, investor mindset. It is totally different. In fact, LiveWave is a business and it should be treated as a business. There are a lot of people who, they just want to make 200, maybe USD will be good enough every week. There are people actually, if you can make consistent 100 USD a week, you are talking about 400 USD a month. 400 USD convert to ringgit is about, I think about 2,000 ringgit, close to 2,000 ringgit, which is very good. I would say a side hustle, But if you want to win big, you want to build a big business, you want to make six figures, even seven figure a year income, it is possible. There are people in LiveWave making seven figure USD a year. There are people, I know a few of them, and I'll be meeting them very soon in Switzerland. All right. So if you treat LiveWave a kacang putih business, you get peanuts, correct or not? But if you treat it from day one as a big business, you want to scale up. I like talking to John because that day he was telling me, for me, I'm looking at this income, the big ones. He's not looking at the small thing. But it's entirely up to you. All right. So if you want to win big, you want the big income, you have make sure that you are prepared for challenges, because there will be a lot of obstacles and challenges coming your way. But if you're looking at the small income, that's it. It's okay. All right. But whatever you do, you have to be positive because positive attitude is the key to possibility. If your mind is closed, sorry, whatever you do, you will not succeed. So you have to be really positive. Everything you do, look at the positive side. Of course, everything that is positive, it depends. It actually depends on your point of view. You know what I mean? So always look at the positive side. Positive attitude is an attitude that can determine how you will achieve your goals in life wave. How? The more positive you are, the sooner, the faster you're going to acquire the skill and knowledge. Let's say, for example, if you got a bad or lousy attitude, you go to your senior and ask for help. You think he will be willing to help you? Maybe once, that's it. But if your attitude is good, your manners are good, every time you ask for help, I believe that, he have got no reason to turn you down. I mean, if time permits lah. So your attitude, only good attitude people will get good mentor. They will learn faster because people are willing to help them. Okay? So it is very, very important. And when you have a positive environment, the people that you bring in, your teammates will also be like you. They will also foster positive environment, which is very important. And of course, you have to believe. Believe in yourself first. Whatever you do, you must believe that there is a possibility that you can do it. Because if you don't believe in yourself, there's no way that you can do it. You see people who does all this dangerous sport like rock climbing, there are people who can climb, rock mountains even without ropes because they believe they have come to a time whereby they are so confident, they believe that they can do it. Really. So recently I went to see the latest Mission Impossible. Then I want to recap. Of course, I want to recap. I am a big fan of Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible. So when I recap, some of the stunts that he did, because Tom Cruise is a guy who did all the stunt by himself. If you look at it, it's so dangerous. But Tom Cruise, he's so confident. He always tell the director, I can do it. But I'm not asking you to go and climb Rock Mountain. It need practice, hours and hours of some of the stunt that actually he performed, he actually practiced for years just to perform one stunt. Very, very interesting. So it is not easy also to become an actor. So believing in yourself is actually you are building up the faith in you, believe that you can do it. And not only believing in yourself, if you really want to do the business right, if you want to build the business big, you have to believe in the product as well. You have to believe in the patches. You know, if you got 1,000% believed that the product is fantastic, it will work. I tell you, people can see in your eyes. And you must also believe in David Smith. David is a person out of this world. He is a fantastic gentleman. You cannot find another person like him. Okay? He is unique. I tell you, he is destined to become a inventor, a scientist. Right? Now, with the belief is still not enough. So what must you do? You must set goals. Really. Now, I do not know how many of you have a dream board, you know. So what I do is from 40 years ago when I start my first MLM business, I was asked to do a dream board. So those days, literally, we have to cut pictures from magazine and paste it on a piece of cardboard and then paste it on the wall so they can watch it many times. This is called the power of visualization. You know, If you are in your house, you can do a dream board and put it in your living room, put it in, stick it onto your fridge so that everyone in the family can see it. They will remind you, hey, when, pa, you're going to get this car? When, you're going to buy this house? Of course, this is not my dream car, I put this because we have got a brand partner which is 71 years old. He still dream of having a Ferrari. And the guy is, I'm sure you know lah, the Ferrari guy, which is Dennis Wong. All right. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. If you are serious, if you have a dream board, I tell you, there are many things you can do. It will materialize with you. I have my dream board when I started LifeWave. To be frank with you, I have achieved every one of them. The other day when in the office, I think 2 days ago, I did a podcast. So Shanky was interviewing me. He asked me about have I achieved everything? Yes. I told her that maybe now I need a new dream board. So it is but I know some of them, some of us, especially people who are older, they feel that it's very childish to do this, very paise, they kind of thing. No, 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 no. You may not want to show anybody, it's okay. You can even put it in the computer. Nowadays, I don't put it into a cardboard anymore. I paste it in a computer, make it, you can actually use this to be your screensaver. There are many things you can do. So please, all right, set goals and visualize your goals. Of course. I mean, there are many techniques. Like if you have read the book Think and Grow Rich, there's another technique very good. It's called auto suggestion. You write your goal down and you read it every day for a couple of times. I think in the book, he asks you to recite at least 7 times a day. Okay. And you should keep learning and keep trying. You know. If your glass is full, you will never learn. So you have to pour out some. All right. So there's a saying, you got to unlearn, then what? No. You got to unlearn, relearn, or something like that. Unlearn first, then relearn. But actually, you cannot unlearn. Those things that you have learned will stick with you. So you have to be open-minded. Only when you're open-minded, you are willing to accept new, maybe a new knowledge, a new technology, or anything which is new you can absorb. Because those things that you have learned, okay, it is still with you. But if you are stubborn, you don't want to learn new things, that means you are going to stick with old methods. Like those days, I'll give you an example. You talk about just 20 years ago, we still need to fill up form, when we recruit someone. And we need to submit to the company, correct? The process will take a long time. And when we purchase product, we have to go to the company and pay the company, and then purchase the product and take home, It's so time consuming. Today is different. Today we use computer, we use mobile phone, we can register people online, and we don't even have to go to the company and collect a product. We pay online, pay a little bit of a shipping fee, and they will ship the product right to your house or your office or wherever you want, with a small fee. It is so convenient. You don't have to do all those, time consuming stuff like, stuck in a traffic jam, go to the office, pick the product. But if you want to do so, you still can, of course. There are still people who are still willing to do it, maybe once a week, because they want the personal touch. They want to take the product and then deliver to the new brand partner and then explain to them. But if you want to do it, of course you can. Okay. But this is the new method. If you are willing to adopt new methods, you're going to build your business faster. Like those days, if you want to do a training, you got to rent a training center, maybe an hotel. Then you got to charge a fee. Then you got to see how many people will come, is committed to come. All right. Nowadays, no need. I open the Zoom. I got a Zoom account. Of course, I have to pay a small fee to a Zoom account. You see, as a trainer, I have got a Zoom subscription. So what I do is I just set up, I just post it online, through WhatsApp, to Facebook, publish it out. So you guys saw it, and you just click on the link, and then you just came in. You do not have to travel out to a hotel, to a venue to attend. It is so convenient, you know. And with all this technology, actually, you can build your business faster. This is the best time to build a direct selling business, I tell you. I have never built a network so fast in my life before. This is my fifth company. Why? Because I use technology. But I have been open minded to learn all these things. Even 20 years ago, when I first bought my first computer, I start to learn, I start to know how to use PowerPoint. I know I keep learning and learning and learning and learning. I was telling myself one day, I will use all this technology to make it work for me. And that's now. But if let's say I'm close minded those days, I don't want to learn. I'm very old school. Until today, do I know how to use this? I have to rely on people. Maybe I have to rely on someone, or if I don't know, I got to employ someone to do it for me. I have to rely my kids, my son, my daughter to do it for me, But and yet they are engaged with their own work, you see. So it is very important to keep learning, keep trying, because you don't know when you're gonna hit the right mark, I would say lah. So you analyze your mistake. Every time when things are not going the right way, you should ask for feedback. When you ask for feedback, please welcome criticism. When people say feedback is a good gesture, people with well manner, but when people don't give you feedback, they will give you, a lot of criticism. They will saying that, no, you should not do this, you should not do that, this is wrong. But if you really want to learn, you should actually. I remember those days when I went for my trainer certification. We have to do training in front of a group of people, and every one of them will give me feedback. I have to accept because every one of us take turns. You know what I mean? So and when let's say for example, if you made a mistake, if somebody give you a feedback, you go back and analyze. You think that maybe this is a good suggestion. Maybe you can try it out. You can try it out. Maybe it's better. If it doesn't work, maybe you can go back to your own old method that you have been using. Maybe it could be better. So very, very important. Okay. And get to work with good mindset, with good attitude, even with all your goals set. If you don't go to work, it's no use. And be consistent. It is not today I work 10 hours, then I rest for the whole week. Then next week I work again. This is not consistency. It's better that every day you work 2 hours. Consistency. Because many of the new brand partners, they are doing this part-time. They have got a job. So what happened is after work, you can spend 2 hours to work on this. You can use social media. You can be at your home. You can do Zoom. Or you can go out, You can invite a friend out to a mama and have a cup of tea and talk about these are all networking. You don't have to straight away talk about life wave. Sometimes people people don't like you are becoming too pushy. Of course, in the later part, there is another podcast where we talk about approach, how you approach people using the 3P lah. All right. So the idea is consistency. There's a saying lah, lama-lama jadi bukit lah. It's all about consistency. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. All right? And you must understand, there's no free lunch. The harder you work, the smarter you work, the more hours, the more committed you put into building your life aid business, the faster it will grow. All right? And your team will follow. Really, really, you'll follow. And no matter hard. You may be doing this part-time. You may have a job. But when you are doing live wave, just focus on live wave. Don't do too many things at one time. Some people tell me, hey, Ronald, I do 2 MLM, why cannot? Why? Because this one I am selling equipment different from you. No, I'm selling supplement Life Wave got no supplement I sell fish oil, I sell vitamin C. Actually is I'm helping Life Wave because with supplement combined with the Life Wave patches, actually is work better. Yes, theoretically, yes, there is no conflict of interest. But there is a conflict in the business opportunity. When you go and approach people, which one? You say this one good, then you say this one good, this business good. Which one should I? Sometimes you do too many things, you got no focus. And there are some people say that you should adopt multiple sources of income. That is also wrong. No multiple sources of income. There's a book, I read the book before, Multiple Sources of Income. Multiple sources of income only works when you have built one solid business that do not require your presence. Now, I give you an example. Today, you start a business and you build until it's so big, you can employ a CEO to run the business for you. You just collect your dividend. You just collect, your profit. That's it. Then you can leave the business to the CEO and you start another one, you run another business. Then you build another one, then you put the third one. That is called multiple sources of income. Not at one time doing a few MLM. That is no. It will never work, I tell you. I have been in this business for the past 40 years. I have seen everything. It does not work. You need focus. The person who join you will see. If you are doing so many companies, they will also follow. My upline also do the same. No. So you may be doing part-time now. If you see the opportunity, if the income grows beyond your full-time job, then you can consider full-time, provided you have the confidence. Because many people, when they leave their job, they got too much free time. They're also doing full-time, but it's FOOL, full-time. They will be wasting and fooling their time. All right. Now, please, even though if you are with another direct selling company, you saw the potential in LiveWave and you did not resign from the company, is okay. LiveWave allow you to build multiple companies before you reach presidential director. If you are in the top 2 level, you have to focus only on LiveWave. All right? It is written rules and regulation, policy and procedure. All right? And even though if you are attached to another company, okay, still drawing income, but when you are in live wave event, do not promote other companies' product. Do not. If you're in live wave, you only talk about live wave. All right. This is very important. Because if you were to talk about other companies' product, then other people see, they will follow. Then live wave event will become a pasar malam. Really, no joke. All right. And be resilient. What is resilience? Resilience means the ability to bounce back every time you fall down. I give you an example. Okay. You decide to do live wave. You saw the potential. Fantastic. I want to do this business. There is no other business I found better than live wave. But when you go out and talk to people, you meet obstacle. People shoot you with a lot of questions you cannot answer. So you don't give up. You go back, you be more prepared, you ask answers, you ask for answers, you go and search for answers. You may go back to him. He may not give you the second chance. There are some people like that. No? But at least you are more prepared when you see the next person. You know. Always remember, every no you get is closer to a yes. Tell yourself the next one is going to be a yes. I give you another example. I give you a deck of playing cards. How many A's are there? There are four. If I shuffle, will you pick an ace from the first card? Chances is maybe four out of 52 because there are four A's. Chances is you are not going to pick. But you flip the second one, your possibility getting bigger, isn't it? Because the first one gone ma. So it's 4 out of 53. You pick another one, it's 4 out of 52 cards, 51, then 50, then 4 out of 49, 49, it's getting better and better. So every no you get is closer to a yes. Always tell yourself, no means never, means not the right time. I told this story many, many times. I sponsored my dear classmate, Samson Lee. I follow up 1 year. 1 year. He used to be very supportive in my previous MLM venture. No problem. Straight away sign up, buy some product and try. That's it. He will never join me and build a business. So this one, because I know he got some hearing problem, for many, many years. So when I talk to him, he doesn't believe. So he told me 1 year. I'm very persistent. I told him I'm not going to give up on you because you are my good friend. So after 1 year, he decided to try the product. Then he went over to Australia, Then he ordered product again from Australia. I think after close to a year, he came back because all the children in Australia, he came back and he's told me that after using for more than 6 months, one of his ear now do not need to wear the hearing aids. And the other side, he needs to tune it down. So he said that this product is fantastic. I want to build the business. So that's how it goes. It took me 1 year. Then I asked him, hey, how much you want to make? He says that he's retired. The wife, last time he was a government servant, got pension money. He said maybe he need 10,000 ringgit. Maybe he got some savings and, EPF or whatsoever. He told me that EPF is almost gone at that time. I need only 10,000 ringgit a month. So I said, okay, very simple. It may take you a year or year and a half to reach that. Okay. So he start building following my footstep. I guide him. And today, I think after about close to 3 years now, I think 3 years, close to 2.5 to 3 years, he's making about 4 or 5 times that amount already, you see. So he also encounter a lot of feedback, a lot of obstacles and challenges. Even he being a pharmaceutical guy, he was in the pharmaceutical industry before. There will be people who will reject you. So all you need to do is to be resilient, bounce back, bounce back, bounce back. No, even like me also, people ask me, I would like to tell my story again. The other day, 2 days ago in the company also, Shanky asked me this. Actually, what makes you bounce back? A lot of people know that I was down and out, about 20 years ago. I was into a lot of debt. So I was on the AKPK program. I need to pay 5,000 over ringgit every month for the next 10 years. So in my mind is, at that time, I went and drive Grab because I need extra income. And my mindset is like this. When people ask me, hey, you don't look like a Grab driver. What do you do before? You know why I tell them? I say that, no, I'm not a Grab driver and this is not going to be permanent. I am looking for opportunity because driving Grab give me plenty of opportunity to meet a lot of people, many people every day. So do you have any jalan? I tell them straight. Of course, there are people who offer me, to do insurance lah, to do all kinds lah, even MLM, some new companies. But I look at, it does not click lah, nothing special lah, does not click. So it did not work out. But that was my mindset. I've been telling people, actually, when you tell people, you're also telling yourself, I'm not going to drive Grab for the rest of my life. this is only temporarily. But actually, I drove for 5 years. And yet, even when I stopped driving, I went and become a corporate trainer. I went and certified myself. You know, I still haven't found the opportunity. I mean, I have tried another company, but it did not work out after 1.5 years. So when I become a corporate trainer, then when the pandemic came, then LifeWave found me. So, you have to be prepared. Sometimes the opportunity come when you are not actually, not aware, or, you know, maybe you are not prepared at that time. You're not looking for it, but mentally you have to be prepared. So when it comes, I am fully prepared. I know how to use Zoom. I'm doing training. I know how to use the computer. There are so many things I know how to do already. So the timing was right. So you do not know when the right one will come. Maybe it's life wave, maybe it's not, but you have to keep on trying. But to me, Live Wave was the best out of the 5 companies that I have been working with. Of course, I have joined more than 5 companies now. These 5 companies I've talked about that I really put time and effort to build. Okay. All right. And whatever you do, okay, let's say you are doing Live Wave now, you have to manage your progress. You have to really, manage your progress. So try not to be too, because, sometimes people come and ask me, like me and Guan Chun, and say, wow, you guys, how come you all build so fast? They never knew that I have been in this industry off and on for 40 years. So actually, I'm very slow. It took me 40 years. So Jin Long is very smart. He's very fast. You ask me the fastest, I think in Malaysia is Jin Long, because he's the first company. So you don't know when the right one will come. But if you're not prepared, if you're not ready, the right one will never come. So you have to cultivate self-discipline, because there will be a lot of this distraction, I would say, a lot of distraction, and a lot of things will come and lure you, especially when you start making money. Wow, now I made 2,000 USD already, 2,000 USD times 4.4 is 8,008 ringgit, no. Well, not bad. Maybe I should quit my job. Or maybe I should buy a better car. Yeah. Or maybe I should spend a little bit of money on this, on that, on this, on that, on that. Be very careful. Be very careful. Because sometimes when you practice instant gratification too much, it's going to ruin your financial future. Let me tell you, it happened to me many years back. What is instant gratification? Instant gratification means you want to reward yourself the moment you hit your income level. I want to buy the car. So make sure you understand what is want and need. I need a car. Any car will do, because a car is to bring you from point A to point B. That's it. A Kanchio can do it. A BMW can do it. A Rolls Royce can do it. So if you need a car, you don't need a BMW, you don't need a Rolls Royce. You just need a car that is roadworthy for you to go from point A to point B. That's it. Maybe you don't even need to buy one. You can use Grab. That is your need. Your want is, I want a BMW because I want to reward myself. I want to buy an LV bag. I want to buy a Rolex. That is want. You can, not to say you cannot. You should practice delay gratification. What is delay? That means you delay your want first. Okay. This is very important. I'm talking about from experience, because at one point of time, I was like that. From the outside, I look very glamorous. I owned two cars before, a BMW and a Volvo. Okay. And I got four house. People look at me, wow, But actually, I got no money. Every month, no money left. You know why? Because I don't save. You know what Warren Buffett said? Do not save what is left. Because you've got too many commitment, too many liabilities. Every month when you get your paycheck, you get your commission, you have to pay for your house. You have to pay for your cars. You have to pay for your insurance. You have to pay for this. You have to pay for that. You have to pay internet subscription. There are so many things you got to pay, and you got no money left to save. So you should actually save and spend what is left. Now, this is my advice out of so many years of experience. I remember I got one downline from one of my previous company. She is a business lady, very smart. Because she owns a business, she already got a business income that she is quite comfortable with already. Whatever income then she is building from the business, you know what she do or not? All the business expenses will come from the direct selling income, from this direct selling income, and what is balanced, she keep in a separate bank account. She never used, and she save a lot of money. If you are doing this part time, you should do that because your full time job is enough for you for your daily expenses. Your second income from LiveWave should do that after minusing all the business expenses that you use to build the business. The balance, you should put it into a separate account. But if you are doing full time, this is what you should do. 20% of your income. Let's say you're making 2000 USD. So 200 USD, which is 880 ringgit, should go into another separate account to save your money. 20% minimum, according to Warren Buffett. This is how you can save money. Then the balance you allocate your payment on your balance. And that way you will be very safe. And the 20% is going to compound. Another thing is, don't try to invest the money so early. Sometimes you'll be saving, wow, I already got 10,000. I better go and invest 10,000. You should only invest with the money that you can afford to lose. Let's say the amount of money you set aside, you're going to invest. If one day if whatever you invest goes down to zero, it will not affect your livelihood. Then you start to invest. So be careful of these two M. Number one is don't try multiple sources of income too early. Number two is if you do not have money that you cannot afford to lose, don't go into any investment. I did it too early, and that's how I got burned. And I start to borrow money from bank in terms of personal loan, and I delay my credit card payment. That's how I got burned. That's how I got into this financial trouble. So speaking from experience, now today I don't do it. So now what I do is it is not achievable. I have already achieved it. I will only buy things if I can afford to buy it cash. Let's say I want to buy this 2,000 ringgit car. I make sure I have the 2,000 ringgit in my account first. But I don't need to buy cash. I still go for installment. I have. I am following this rule now. But if you cannot follow this rule, but you can follow this rule if your income come in fast and big, because I built the business fast, ma. The second method, which I teach my son and some of my friends, is you can only spend 10% of your total income on any payment, monthly payment. Let's say, for example, if you were to buy a car, your monthly installment is 500 ringgit, for example, your income should be 5,000, 10%. That's it. Do you know why? You know, when I told this to my son, he said, wow, like that, what car can I buy? I said, buy Kanchiu lo, buy second-hand car lo. The other way, if you want to buy better car, is to increase your income. You know why? Because 10% goes to your EPF, 10% goes to your 20% goes to your savings, 10% maybe goes to your food, another 10% maybe goes to your gadget, your internet, your things. 10% maybe goes to your car, 10% go to your house. Actually, you got not much left. You go back, you do the calculation. The 10% rule also come from someone. I cannot remember from who. It could be also from Warren Buffett. I tell you the best. If you really are focusing on a financially free life, it may take you 5 years, it may take you even 10 years. I don't know. But if you follow the right track, you follow delay gratification, you save 20% every month, you are on the right track, I tell you. Really, I taught all this to my son in his early days. I mean, he found a good job. He was earning a good income and he followed. And by then, when he resigned from his job, he says that he can actually go without a job for at least 2-3 years, he told me. Really, it's difficult. But if you start right, I tell you, 10% on small little, it's a habit, But if you keep spending, what happened to me and to most of the young people today, You see a lot of young people, they drive fancy cars and all those. They took a 9-year loan. You try taking a 9-year loan, you know what happened? When you sell your car, you still have to pay the bank, because the car depreciates faster than your payment. Even property, not every property will appreciate. Do you know there are too many property now in the Klang Valley? It is already, oversupply. Oversupply. But of course, there will be still some area which is still a good buy, lah, of course. So be very, very careful when you are buying. You are going to commit big amount of money, all right? Because you want to be safe. We want to build this business with a peaceful mind. You don't want to be stressed. If you build it right, if you apply the right strategy and right financial principle, you're going to be stress-free, I tell you. So when I started LifeWave, I tell myself, I'm not going to make the mistake I made those days. No more. No more. All right. And I have done it. I've proved myself. Okay. My children, my wife, everyone is happy because I do not make the same mistake again. All right. And remember, whatever you do, okay? LifeWave is the passport to your dreams. How many of you think that LifeWave can give you the future that you want? Can give you the life, the financial freedom that you want? You have to start believing that. Do you want free holiday? I'm going to Switzerland next. I'm going to Sweden first before Switzerland. Next Saturday, I'm flying already. Last month, I just went to Bali, fully paid by the company. And this trip also fully paid. Except the 4 extra days to Sweden, I go. Why I go to Sweden? Because we have a brand partner in Sweden, a Malaysian staying there. You see, paid holiday. Last year, I got 4 paid holidays, all by LifeWave. So that is the best travel. You travel with a group of people, all paid by the company, and you have fun, and everybody, is creating a better financial future. Don't you think that this is the community you want to get involved? This is the culture you want to be with. Okay. So always remember, stay positive. If you encounter any challenges, tell yourself it is only temporarily. It is every no you get is going to lead to a yes. All right. So with this, I like to say thank you very much for this for today's podcast. If you have any question you want to ask, you can open your mic or you can type in the chat box anything related to the business. Okay. Please do not ask questions regarding the patches and the product. All right. Okay. Any question? Let me see. Jump to the latest. Okay, let me go through. Good evening, commitment, successful always are positive. Okay. Technology make easy. Okay. These are not questions. Yes. Delay gratification. Wow, Yi Ching, very good. So any question, anybody you want to ask anything about the business, about my experience, anything you want to know, you can ask. Kamal Mustafa, selamat malam. Apa kabar? Okay.
Good evening, Ronald.
Anyway, Kamal Mustafa will take over after when this session ends. He will continue with his Bahasa presentation. All right. So is there any question? Anything you want to ask? Or maybe you want me to share about the Bali trip or any trip that I've been? I tell you, Live Wave travel are all first class. They give you in the hotels, I tell you, all the best hotel. And all the arrangement they provide you are all fantastic. Compared to previous company, no way near. I can tell, no way near. All right. So you got to, Kamal have one also many trips, Hong Kong, Korea, Bali, Da Nang, all the regional trips. The day he started the business, he won every one of them. So macam mana, Kamal, can you please share with us your experience with all this incentive travel?
Incentive travel, amazing incentive travel, all paid for, 5-star experience. You have just to qualify for one, and then after that you get addicted, like you always want to qualify again. and to answer your questions, to follow up on your presentation, amazing presentation, it's a matter of a belief. It's a matter of mindset setting. If you really believe and have faith, you can achieve it, you will get it.
Correct. I tell you. Kamal was with me in the previous MLM platform. We did not make it. Okay, because it was not the right one after trying for some time. So when we came over, when I saw this and when Kamal also saw this, you know, it just clicked. Everything just clicked. The timing, everything was right. And incentive trip is very important. If you are seriously wanted to build a business, you should at least qualify for one incentive trip a year, at least one. We have got so many. Some we have got Europe, US, at least the regional. Every year we have 2 regional trips, at least one you qualify. Because incentive trip is a measurement of other people see how actively you are building the business. It's your report card. And when your team see that you are actively building and you are going for incentive trip, they will follow. And when they follow, your volume will come. All right. So with this, I'd like to say thank you. And those people who are interested, you can stay back for Kamal session. I'm going to end this and stop the recording. Where's the record button? All right. I'm going to pass it to Kamal. Okay. Thank you very much.